Hello, my name is Associate Professor Burcu Menekşe Balkan from Burdur Directorate of Provincial Agriculture and Forestry. In this lesson, we will be talking about the legislation of sheep and goat breeding, registration and identification, organization and support in European Union countries. The headings of the lesson is Goat and Sheep Breeding Legislation in European Union, Registration and Identification of Ovine Animals in the European Union, Ovine Livestock Organization in European Union, Small Livestock Support in European Union. Pure breeding ovine animals. The main directive on this subject is Council Directive 89/361/EEC dated 13 of May 1989 on pure breeding sheep and goats. In the directive, the definition of pure breeding sheep and goat is defined as sheep and goat whose parents and grandparents have entered or registered in the pedigree of the same breed and are suitable for registration or at the box office in this register. The definition of pedigree is made by taking any book, record, or data medium in which purebred sheep and goats are accepted and registered to the race they belong to, with reference to their origins established by a breeder association or organization or official institution officially approved by the member state. By law, member state may not prevent or restrict the approval of governing associations that establish intra-union trade or genealogies of breeding sheep and goats, and their semen, ova, and embryos on zootechnical rules. The approval of Breeders Association. The Commission Opinion number 90/254/EEC dated 10th of May 1990 was created and put into effect for the necessary criteria to ensure the ratification of this association. These criteria, the member state to which the application is to be made must have legal personality under the legislation in force. They must demonstrate that they can use the farm animal yield data as necessary within breed development or breed preservation programs. The Breeders Association should define the characteristics of the breed, the animal identification system, the pedigree record system, the objectives of the breeding purposes should be explained. A series rules should be determined for the evaluation of the yield data and the genetic value of the animal. Performance and genetic value estimation. According to Commission Opinion number 90/256/EEC of 10th of May 1990, yield test of sheep and goats should be carried out in a station or farm environment. Recording of milk quantities and genetic evaluation of milk characteristics of female should be defined in fertility and other tests. Without any prejudice, every male and female purebred sheep and goat registered in the pedigree should be accepted as breeding stock. The use of male purebred sheep and goats for artificial insemination and their semen, if performance monitoring tests and genetic evaluation results are appropriate, should be accepted. Purebred female sheep and goats should be considered as breeders, and the use of their semen, ova, and embryo should also be accepted. Collection, processing, and storage of semen, ova, and embryos should be carried out at officially approved centers or by officially approved personnel. Based on the Basic Directive 89/361/EEC, member states may request that breeding sheep goats, their semen, ova, and embryos accompany them during inter-union trade to have a pedigree certificate issued by breeders' associations. According to the opinion of Commission dated 10th of May 1990 and numbered 90/258/EEC, name of the institution using the certificate, the name of the genealogy, the order in which it was registered, the date the certificate was issued, identification system name, identification number, race, gender, breeder's name and address, animal owner's name and address, pediatric information, performance value and genetic value results of himself and its family, the date of artificial insemination or breeding of the bull in pregnant animals and the bull's identification number, signature and issue date and place of the signers who issued the document should be. There are a number of general precautionary control carried out during intra-union trade and imports from third countries. These are health requirements, veterinary and zootechnical controls in animals, animal products and general products. The legislation regulating this control is Council Directive 90/425/EEC dated 26 June 1990 on veterinary and zootechnical controls applicable to certain animals and produced within the Union in order to complement the internal market. According to the directive, animal and products it should come from the business, center or organizations where regular veterinary checks are made, originate from businesses or regions that are subjected to restrictions due to the suspected or existing diseases or certain diseases specific to animals or animal products. It must be identified and recorded in accordance with the union legislation. A company with health certificates and other appropriate documents during shipment and to the destination must have been sent to the state or region of origin that provide adequate health guarantees for the member state of destination. They should be transported in accordance with the hygiene rules in force. If the competent authority at the time of the control detects a disease agent, or if the state of origin of animals and products is dangerous, it may take measures such as return, quarantine, or destruction of the animals or products in question. Registration and identification of ovine animals in the European Union. Every European Union country should establish a system for the identification and registration of sheep and goats with the following elements. All sheep and goats must have an electronic identifier. Electronic identifiers are typically an electronic ear tag, but an electronic identifier that can be ingested and scanned by the animal can also be used. ID tags must show the country of birth and the individual animal code. Identification must be made within 6 months after birth and before the animal leaves the facility of origin. Animals imported from outside the European Union must be identified within 14 days. EU countries should impose penalties for violation of the regulation. The regulation will be repealed and amended by the 2016/429 EU regulation to be effective as of April 20, 2021. One livestock organization in the European Union. Local breeders' associations which aim to purely breed and breed certain breeds or hybrid types have grown and strengthened over time and have become widely organized in the UK. Today, all sheep breeds in the UK have separate breeders' associations, and historically, these organizations have bred their own breeds, promoted their superiority to the entire industry, increased the breeders' sale of their members, increased the productivity and profitability of the sheep industry, and directly affected the sustainability of the sheep breeding. Purpose of breeding associations. The main objective and the duties can be summarized as the breeding and promotion of the breeds that are same all over the world and of which they are representative on the basis of race, selling the breeding stock of their members at a value price, arranging the pedigree records, meeting the breeding needs of the members, increasing the competition within the breed, rewarding the good ones, and increase the knowledge and manners of the members. For instance, the condition of membership of the British Dorset Down Breeders Association as it stands today, and the items that make up the financial support that keeps the association alive, such as due, fees, commission, which are required to be paid by the members are as follows. Entire principle of the association. The breeders who wants to join the union agrees to open her herd records to the union council's inspection if necessary, and to pay the inspections cost if her herd is not accepted into the union. No herd may be admitted to the unit until they are determined to be true Dorsets. The Union Council has sole authority to decide whether or not any herd should join the Union. Acknowledging the above principles, I apply to the Dorset Down Breeders Association and declare that upon acceptance, I will abide by any other rules the association may propose. And they have to sign the paper. For mandatory payments, there's a membership fee, association membership, young membership, ship registration, which are less than 12 months old, and ship registration over 12 months old, coach, presentation at the fair coach, put up for sale at the fair, export certificate. National Association of Breeders. With the enlargement of Breeders' Union, a higher institution was needed and NSA was established in order to ensure the common and strong voice of the sheep breeding industry, to make the sheep breeding an organization more uniform, and to ensure a uniformity of different unions. Duties of this organization to promote the sheep and products of UK sheep breeders at home and abroad, existing large contact group, which are Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Environment, Ministry of Transport, Meat and Livestock Commission, deputies, MEPs of the European Union authorities, other environmental and welfare groups, are well aware of the strength of the members represented by this organization. For this reason, the problems of union become more priority and can be solved in a short time. NSE is active in 9 regions in UK. Small livestock support in the European Union. Key elements of the European Union Common Agricultural Policy. Direct payments are the payments made to stabilize farmers' incomes. A national reserve is created for direct payments. Member states can set additional criteria for access to the reserve, such as skills, education. Reserves can be used to prevent soil abandonment, to combat specific disadvantages, to ensure equality in distribution between large and small farmers. A minimum of 5% deduction is applied, exceeding €150,000. For young farmers, 25% is added to basic payments. Young farmer is a farmer who is not over 40 years old, who has opened a new agricultural business as the head of the business, or who has a business up to 5 years before the application. The minimum support period is 5 years. Direct payments. Those who meet the minimum conditions for direct payments, which are at least 100 to 500 euros direct payment, 0.3 hectares to 5 hectares of land, those who are active farmers can access. Market regulations, cross measures, it includes 13 legal regulation of environment, food safety, animal and plant health, and animal welfare. It also covers the regulation of living the land in good agricultural and environmental conditions, protecting the soil, protecting the organic matter and structure in the soil, water management, and protecting the habitats. Market measures. It includes rules on intervention in markets. It includes sector-specific support mechanisms, marketing rules for agricultural products, which includes references price for marketing, standards, geographical indications, labeling, response, and determination of public procurement. In case of deteriorations of market conditions, public procurements are made by the competent authorities in the member countries, providing grant aid for the storage of crops and private storage. It regulates the relation between manufacturers and organizations. It supports the delivery of agricultural products to target groups. It implements support programs for the supply of fruit, vegetables, and milks to schools, provides support for the promotion of European Union agricultural products. It, it establishes foreign trade rules, license, management of quotas and tariffs, internal and external processings. Dairy product measures, public interventions, storage aid, interventions to sudden disruptions in market equilibrium, milk production reduction application, conditional compliance, and milk package. Red meat products measures. The main objective of policy tools are to maintain price stability, facilitate the marketing of products, provide a stable environment for producers and producers, and regulate trade with third countries. Measures taken in carcasses such as animal disease and loss of consumer confidence. Commission market reports on lamb and goat meat. Tariffs and quotas in trade with third countries. If prices for beef and veal fall below 8% of the reference price, the European Union Commission arranges public procurement. In case of adverse market conditions in beef and veal, the Commission can provide special storage aid, export refund fund in special cases where market conditions deteriorate. Beef and veal producers' organizations can bargain collectively for live animals. Meat that can be produced as a result of this bargain cannot exceed 15% of the country's production. In beef and veal, member states report prices to the European Commission every week. Rural development programs. Supported by the Agricultural Fund for Rural Development 2014 to 2020, 100 billion euros, three countries with the highest share, France, Italy, and Germany. 118 separate rural development programs. Priorities of rural development programs. Triggering knowledge transferred and innovative in agriculture, forestry, and rural areas. Increasing the competitiveness of all kinds of agricultural activities. Triggering innovative agricultural technologies and sustainable forest management. Promoting food chain organization, animal welfare, and risk management in agriculture. Development and protection of ecosystems related to agriculture and forestry. Increasing resource efficiency in the agriculture, food and forestry sectors. Promoting low carbon and climate resilience economies, and to promote social inclusion, poverty reduction, and economic development in rural areas. Leader Program, implemented by local action groups, supplemented through the local development strategy, and created by rural committees, Action groups are formed by local societies, local public and private sectors. Themes of later programs. The first theme, economic development, business development, employment creation, development of rural tourism businesses, social inclusion, and rural environment. EU Commission Agricultural Policy financing the European Agricultural Guarantee Fund finance direct payments and support providing within the framework of market regulations. European Agricultural Fund and for rural development funds rural development programs. Thank you very much for your attention.